But if you can remember from the day we celebrate January 1st, January, February, we're going March, June, now we're on October. So it takes a very hard work to protect the entire world. So we are so grateful because God is doing it and making it possible.
Hallelujah.
For the beating of your heart and for every single complications that we have in our own body, we don't even know if it's possible for human being to live for 10, 20, 30, 40, 70, even 100 years. Because our disease from the heart, your heart can fail, blood pressure, you don't have water, every single disease can take your life. It takes a God intervention that we can see. Yes, we see the food and the water, but it's not enough to protect us. It takes God's hand. So we are so grateful on this day of October 22nd, 2017, which means we still have, again, 2 months to come to see 2018. If you ask anybody, are you going to make it? Smart and wise people will say, by God's grace, I will make it. Amen.
Amen.
Come on, everybody say, by God's grace, we will make it. Come on, church. By God's grace, we will make it. That I was standing here. I don't believe in my doctor. Yes, I know. I have respect. Every my food, every my income, every my government. But I know God, He's doing the work. Because when the world is struck by earthquake, there is no government who is going to stop it. Only God. So we're going to learn today the invisible hands and invisible interventions that is making you and I to stand today. But in details, the Bible is full of letters. So many letters. Paul writes his letters. We're going to see the difference between the letter that was written by men and women of God, and also the message that was receiving from God. What I'm saying here, God gives his people inspiration. And then people also write the letter to their own people. If you read the New Testament, because Paul, he was working most of the time with, they call it letter of permissions. Before he was going to persecute a Christian, so they was giving him a letter that give him the power to arrest somebody. How they call it, those letters? If police came to your house to arrest you,
A warrant?
they call it warrant. Thank you very much. So they knock the door and they say, we come to arrest you. What the Why? They show you the proof that we have the warrant to arrest you. Then you have to read it to make sure it's not fake. You have to recognize the letter. I remember I showed my young brother my ordination certificate, license, that allow me to work in the United States as a pastor, to baptize, even to bless marriage. Then he went to search the number, to see the number if it's registered in the United States. Then I was like, oh, I don't know. So he zoomed some small letter, then found out when the certificate came. So that letter is very important. You have to recognize, back on the day, we used to recognize the hand, you know, the hand to one who write it. If you say, okay, this letter came from my uncle, then when you look at it, you say, this is not the Maurice writing. Amen. Somebody else may have write it. So 1,000 people, they have different way of writing. And also, they have what they call style of letter. Because now we're hearing on the machine, It's hard to know who wrote it. But you may have found out that in this letter, my wife, my husband, my mom, she don't used to use those type of word in there. Amen. It seems like somebody say, hey, young man, I want you to get out from now. I want to see your black skin out of the door. You say, my mama don't have letter. Amen. So there is some vocabularies. There is some expressions. There is some style of letter you're going to recognize who is the original. The letter reflects the personality of the one who is sending it. And also the letter reflects the relationship between somebody. It seems like you write the letter to any friend. It would be like, okay, I love you, honey. And the brother said, how can you write the letter? Let's go. Who sent the letter? Oh, that's my brother. What do you mean I love you, honey? So you be, hey man, what are you trying to do? And he'll be like, what's wrong? It's just the letter. How can you call me to be high up? Oh, I'm sorry. So the letter reflects the relationship. The letter also reflects the subject and the importance of the letter. So there is so many meanings in the letter. That's why what we're reading now, what we're reading here is a letter. But who is the origin of those letters? That's God. Amen. Amen. So he sent those messages. He sent those letters to his people. But what he was saying in the Bible, listen, take the anchor and write it down. I know the man who had a very hard time. I don't know how he wrote it down. Mr. Moses. He went where he went, and then from there, they give him the letter from God. Was in the 10 Commandments. So those are the letters that God sent to his people through Moses. But they said those letters, it was not on a paper, but it was on a piece of rock. Is that true? Mm-hmm. Then I always think about how Moses could write A, B, C. I feel like, oh, that's why he was there for 40 days to write those 10 Commandments. And Moses coming. Now there is a problem for the person who was going to receive the letter. But he found these people, you know what they was doing? Dancing, drinking. They don't even care that the leader is not there. And the man was coming, he heard the noise in the city. Boom, 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 let go, let go. You know, I don't know how to dance. So everybody got this way. You can hear the noise that, ooh, it's going hard on the club. You know, everybody. Then when he came out, he was so mad. She was like, oh my God. So those letters fell down and was broken. You know, Moses has a little bit of short temper. Mm-hmm. So it was so hard to connect those rock again. He have to do what? To go back. To receive a letter from God. And then send to his people. So what I'm trying to say is that Paul also writes so many letters to Timothy, to everybody. And then you can find out those messages. But we're going to read today a very special short letter was between husband and wife. Let us take our Bible and search this intervention letter as we're going to describe today. The letter is going to be on Matthew chapter 27. We're going, of course, to put accent on 18 or on 19, but to have at least some idea, we are going to start together to read from 15. Is anybody is ready to read? Just then, as Pilate was sitting on the judgment seat, his wife, that is the relationship, sent him this message. This is the content of message, the expressions, also the value of the message. The wife said, "Leave that innocent man alone. I suffer through a tribal nightmare about him. Leave him alone, that innocent man." Since the tradition is to speak about the lives, the expressions of the lives. But before we can go there, we're going to understand that these Israelite people, they was a slave. They was captured in Egypt. Now they have to enjoy their freedom. As they was living, we have two ways of freedom. Follow me very carefully. People living in sin, they live as a slave under oppressions of human beings. Come on, church with me. That the king Pharaoh. They free them from the hand of Pharaoh. Now they have a freedom, is limited freedom. But because while they are free from slavery, because they can't worship, they can't pray, they can't also practice the traditions being a slave. They have to force them to the customer, work on the Sabbath, work on the Sunday like slave. They are not allowed to be together for prayer. They are not allowed even to, so they even force them to prepare food for the Egyptian god. They even force them also to participate in the ceremony. Because they are slaves, they have no choice. But God gives them the first freedom, is the freedom from the hand of human being. They was not free. Now God have to work so hard to free them from the hand of Satan. Is that makes clear? Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm free. It's like a country that received Independence Day. I'm from Republic Democratic of Congo. We was colonized by Belgium. Then when the independence came, we are free from Belgium, from the empire, from those kings. But we are not free from the sin. The first slavery is that the physical slavery where you are not free to express yourself. And the second slavery is being slave under Satan, under evil. Now you are able to say, no, you can't force me to use drug. But in slavery, if they say everybody has to use drugs so you can work hard, you have no choice. But being free, you have choice. Now those people living in Israel, they was promising them the Messiah to come. But the Messiah did not free them from Egypt. God used Moses to free them from the hand of Pharaoh. Now God has to use the Messiah to free them from mentality slavery, from mind slavery, from spirit slavery. This is a very serious problem. If you try to help somebody who his mentality is spoiled, you're going to work so hard because he can't listen. That is the serious problem. I remember we were somewhere for celebration. We have a customer of coming late, even going to the celebration. Because our ancestors, they used to look at the sun. If you say, come over here, when the sun goes a little bit down, not too down, like there, you know, then you'll be here. But you know the sun can change. And we always come late. But these people, after they live in Egypt, they was free from Pharaoh. And Pharaoh let them go. And God did what he did. Every day there was the barrier, that is the Red Sea, they crossed the barrier. Now they're living in Canaan. So what happened in Canaan? They didn't understand the mission in Canaan. So it was time for them to receive a Messiah. What they were saying most of the time, and this time they was living again under Roman slavery. So these generations, Roman was controlling people in Hebrew in Israel. But after 14 governors, they sent also here Caesar to be a governor over there. And you know, after that, then Pilate also was working over there. But what happened to the system? There was corruption. These people was living in corruption. That's what makes Europe. That's what makes the business to do. What's mean the corruption? So people, they was collecting tax from Matthew, who today is also working as a tax collector. What he was doing, he collected money from Jews. They didn't pay the tax. If you're supposed to pay tax, maybe $10. So Matthew, he paid tax for $10 for people. After paying $10, then he told people to pay back to him $15. And he was even paying 3 times. That's how the corruption is going. And also, once they give to Pilate, Pilate also was carrying from that $10, he sent to the government, to the governors maybe $3. And they sent to Caesar maybe $1. That's how the corruption was in Israel. So these people living in the corruption, they became slaves. If we speak today about my favorite twins, Zacchaeus. So I always call him Zacchaeus because they describe him as a short man. Amen. So they say, this is my favorite twin, Zacchaeus. He heard that Jesus was coming. He climbed on the tree in order to see Jesus. And then Jesus saw Zacchaeus. And he said, let's go home. So when they went home, Zacchaeus knew the value. Even though they are slaves, but they know the word of God. What we're doing is wrong. It doesn't reflect as a Jew. It doesn't reflect our personalities. Do you know what he told Jesus? Jesus, I'm ready. I have a list for every people that I get money from them. But to confess, I'm going to pay them back 3 times according to what I took from them. Why he said 3 times? Because there was trampling fees to innocent people. The tax is $1. He came here, he told them to pay $3. Then he paid over the 2, he kept. That's how they became so rich. So this is Jews. They came from slavery, so they can be free. Through the mentality, now they fell in corruption. Now they fell in stealing. They became a Kruger. And it was a very good possibility for them to be rich. Who refused to be rich here? Come on, I want to see one hand. Who don't want to be rich? Oh, okay. To God be the glory. Yes, being rich. That's how they say a good guy never win. Yeah, Mr. Morris, is that? They say a good guy never win. You must be a little bit rough, you know, to be strong, to be whatever. Why? Because people want to be rich in the wrong way. So every Jew, they read the letter from God in the 10 Commandments and saying, don't steal, don't do this. But that is in their heart. But they have a desire to become rich. Now this time, they slave themselves without forcing them. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep.
The first slave, there was forcing, whipping, taking by force in slavery. They came and crying their motherland, and they find the same slave. But this second type of slavery are people who slave themselves for the desire of being rich. And the only way to be rich, you have to work for Roman to oppress your own people. So it was a very good. That's why Zacchaeus said, I have to pay back 3 times more because it's the money they were stealing from people. This tax collector, don't take me wrong, I'm not talking about tax in the United States. I'm talking about the system that was in Rome, the system in Egypt. The value of Christian, the value of people who are free is to work from the original plan. What God said on original plan. Eat by your sweat. That's the original plan. That's why God said, go to the land where there is everything. You don't need everything. Just work hard. But people who didn't want to work hard, they choose a shortcut to steal. Talking about the tax collector, then Matthew understand the system. So when he feel like, what we're doing is wrong, that's how Matthew, he became a disciple. Zacchaeus too, after he understand that what he was doing is wrong, he asked to pay the indemnity so he can save God. So people start running from another slavery. They was already enslaved. Now Jesus, when he came, he started snatching one man another, everything the population from slavery. Do not steal. Do not do this. So, and I remember every people in slavery, they have a customer to divorce. Divorce is like another style for freedom. Divorce, it shows like you are strong. And then they ask you, Jesus, why are you saying that? And Jesus said, no, you should stay with your wife. They said, no. Moses tell us to divorce. And Jesus said, no, that it didn't come from God. It came from Moses. Moses received a letter from God. And after he read those letters, now he was facing the reality. So many troubles, so many questions, people killing each other. Now Moses tell them, there's no manner to kill each other. Now this is the message from Moses, not from God, but he's using by God. But the original letter say men and women, the women, they come together. Come to those tax collectors from that habit. Now Jesus take the message, so it became so dangerous for the governor. It became so hard for the system. They can't make money anymore. Oh, yeah. Because these people, they start quitting the job, being a disciple of Jesus. These people, they stop oppressing their own people for the benefit of the Roman government. Jesus became so dangerous. So, they may see that the income start coming down. So they ask Caesar, they say, what's going on? Pilate, what's going on in your region? We don't see money anymore. What? He say, yes. There is a duke, a young man here, he bring a new law. So you know Matthew, oh yeah, that is very good guy. Now he's a disciple. Oh, come on. Where is Zacchaeus? Oh, he quit. What are you talking about? He quit. He even give his wealth to people that he was stealing money. You know when people, they owe you money, you write on the list, the one who finish, you make view. So now the income was going down. Also the Roman did not see money. That's the first generation. The second also, this way of Kruger went to the church. So people that were sitting in the church, tithing, offering, was quadrupled by those people who make money. Imagine I work for $5 per hour, I give my offering 50 cents. But Zacchaeus give offering 5,000. Who is more important in the church? So from that point that you see, a man, because he's a minister, he's a congressman or congresswoman, he just new in the church. Then you wake up in the morning, the congresswoman become an elder of the church. Why? Because she bring in a big package to build the church. But people who have a quality to be qualified, they give him 50 cents. So finally, the church have to open the door in the yard to do marketing. So every Sunday, people, they come over there to sell stuff at the church, and then they give, once you sell, you finish, you give your tithing right away. And when the church finish, they count the money. Oh, you're so good. The system is so corrupted. That's how you read the verse that Jesus went in the church. He found in the church people selling stuff. And the pastor of the Jews, what's going on here? No, they're selling stuff. This is the house of my Father. This is the house of prayer. This is the house of salvation. Do not make this place to be a church. And Jesus, he turned out only those places and kicked them out. So there was resisting. They was trying to receive help from soldier so they can arrest him. Then Jesus be like, this time the Bible says he whipped them. So kick them out of the church. And the next week, so people, they're scared to go there. Come on. They say, no, we can't do that. So the house of God has for the first time respect. From this slave who came from Egypt, they are free now. And then they give them church. They turn the house of the God who freed them to be the market because they are corrupted by Roman. Then the church income went down. Who is responsible of that loss? Jesus. So that the second conflict came. Now the conflict from government. Now the conflict from leader of churches because of the income. Now they have to make what they call a coalitions together. So this man is so dangerous. When you try to free people, every day I stand now, close every single club. The department that is receiving tax from those clubs, they're not going to see the money. So RSS will be like, what's going on? No, I closed my business. Why? Oh, you know, no, now Georgia, the government said no more club. So they want, anyway, if we put that, we don't want to put the United States in trouble. But the income is gone. The income is lost. The trouble starts. Here, those two coalitions come together. Now, Jesus keep working, trying to free people from slavery. These are people who say they are free. This is a free land. We are free. But every day you are free, you have to remember one thing. A man who is free is a man who takes his own responsibility. That's the free man. If you don't take your responsibility, every day you are free, you are slave. This type of people, they are captivity. It seems like when you grow up, you get 18. Come on, American kids. After 18, what do you think?
I'm free.
Come on. After 18, you celebrate it to be free. And then sometimes the parents, they say, yes, I know you are free. As long as you live under my roof, you are not free. Then they can be like, I know, the next thing is what? To get a job. Once I get my job, if you see me here, man, you will see. Then you get your job. It's time to move out. Just searching for freedom. So you're going to be controlled by people who don't care about you. Yeah. They don't care about you. What they're going to do, oh girl, yes. Oh boy, you are free, yes, I'm free. I'll get that package, put it on the street. And when you get on the street of there, pump, oh my God, I can't make it, they beat me so. And they say, what do you think? Master men are down here, man. Here we live as though baby. Over there they call you dog. Hey, what's up, dog? So you gotta go there. And then you have to take that name. Now we're talking about human traffic. And most of them, they are kids who think they are free. Who feel like they are ready. Then they are not free. Because they don't take responsibility. This is what's happened. Those Jews, they was free from Pharaoh. But they still slave in their own land. And Jesus was working so hard to free them. By the coalition between people who are losing money by using you, became so strong. Here, that I'm going to say, the death of Jesus was the will of God or was the irresponsibility of religion leader? It's just the question. Yes, of course, it's the will of God, as the Bible said. And being a human being also, if you think so deep, you may feel like there was a mistake somewhere. There was people who forced something somewhere because their income, because of they was doing the corruption. So many leaders, even Caesar, when the time came, they have to trick Jesus. They say, Jesus, we have a very good question, Master. Jesus said, what do you want? Okay, are you allowed to pay tax? Jesus said, tax? He said, yes. He knew the conflict going to go on in the city. Mm-hmm. And he knew that question where he came from. He like, okay, give me the quarter. So they give him quarter. And then he look on quarter. He said, whose picture is this? You know, some money got pictures, right? I'm not talking about dollars or Kong money, okay? Here we're talking about the Bible. So don't make it in trouble. Then they check on his picture. He said, oh, that is Caesar. He said, it's okay. Whatever belongs to Caesar, give to Caesar. And whatsoever belongs to God, give to God. That was like it. So you mean we need to pay tax? So they was like, oh man, they have to go back. Why human being? When you tell them about giving offering here at the church, is slavery. But they don't know that they are slaves. They force them. Even the simple bubble gum, you just feel like my mouth is dry. So I need at least a bubble gum to put in my mouth. They say, no, bubble gum is 99 cents, right? Then when you check on the receipt, it's 107. It says, say, I have $1. It says, plus tax. You'll be like, take the bubble gum or leave it. Oh, man. Those people, so they force them to pay. But when you talk about the church, oh, those pastors, you see the guy how he preaching over there? He looks so clean, man. Look at that suit. So those people, they are forced, and that's slavery. They're in captivity. Because being in captivity, it looks like you are free, but you are being controlled. So then you live in corruption. So Jesus was in that situation. He came to the point, now, coalition between the religion leader and that lead Jesus to arrestation. So they arrested him. After Pilate was sitting on that judgment seat, and then he looked deeper. He knows the law. He knows everything because he learned from school. He graduated in Rome. Then they sent them there with Caesar to go to control city like Georgia or wherever it is. But they know the law. They check on Jesus. They check the answer. What is belong to Caesar, give to Caesar. Okay, he said, do what you're going to do. Okay, they check this side. They say, what's the problem? No, he said, this man. But because of the corruption, those people, they used to corrupt him. When they need to kill somebody, they give big money to the judge to oppress poor people. Now there is guilt on him. He can't betray them because they both belong to the system where they're stealing people money. So they have that relationship. But the law is here. The justice is here. Even people, they say, let the justice be done. Rich people, they know that money is going to turn the justice. So Pilate has a very hard time. Now he screamed like, this man who you want to, we need Jesus. So now they was sending Jesus here to Pilate, over there, and everywhere. So nobody wanted to decide. The one who has power, he gives to the young. Now Jesus, so the time was a syrup. Because the persecution, every year, they have to offer somebody on the custom as a punishment to maintain the corruption, to maintain the system. When you see somebody is killed, what are you going to do? You learn the lesson. If you do the same, they're going to kill you. So the time was running out to the point now they have to find somebody to kill. Between Barbar and Jesus, who do have to kill? Because those evil people, they force you. You look like you respect them. If I'm working here, I'm a powerful man. I'm a drug dealer. I'm a killer. And everybody around me, they act like they respect me. But they're not respecting me. They have fear of what I can do to them. And even the parents, they say like, don't go there. Say, no, you don't know the man. If you say quit, don't work for that man, they say he's going to kill my family. So they act like they respect them, but it's that fear. Now Pilate is in fear. The justice is here. So he has to make a decision to free Jesus. Then Jesus can do the work. Then he can free these people. So the good news, the gospel, they change the transformation, and people who are free can live free indeed. Not only free from Pharaoh, but freedom also from the mentalities. Yeah. If your mentality is not free, whatever they're going to do, you're going to run in corruptions. That's why the things in the world, Africa, wherever, is accused by corruption. They have money, they have everything, but somebody's rich and the people are poor. The mentality. And the parents, they say, yes, it's my son, it's my daughter, but we have different heart. So God is trying to bring to be the temple of God, because the situation here is not the heaven. The problem is here on earth. That's why Jesus said, pray, Father, let your kingdom be done here on earth. There is problem here. The problem is not in heaven. We most of the time running, let me die, I'll be free. If you are not free here, do not expect to be free in heaven. So after they work so hard, now the time came to express the death of Jesus. So we're talking about the letter. Now Pilate's wife sent a letter to the husband. I know what we're going through. I know the corruption. But this man, I suffer all night. So now Pilate, when he read the letter, he was like, okay. But people, they say Pilate's wife was trying to free Jesus. Come on, church. He has a dream. In that dream, he did sleep all night. Do not kill that man. So who was intervening in this situation? I like giving things. Who was intervening? Who was the master of that intervention? God. Thank you. That was God. God gave a message to Pilate's wife. God gave a message to prophet. God gave a message to men of God. And men of God, they write the letter to transmit that message to every single generation. God was trying to free Jesus from the hand of these people, to stop corruption, to stop oppressing their own people. That's why the wife sent the letter. They said, no, I didn't sleep all night. I'm not corrupted. Nobody gives me money. Because Caesar was the wife was under protection. But I didn't sleep all night because of this man. This man is innocent. Freedom. Free him. Do not get mixed in that man. Leave him alone. I like what the Bible says. That leave him alone. Leave him alone. Let him do the work that he was sent to do. Leave him alone. Pilate knows. He recognized who sent the letter. He reflects his wife. And Pilate could not do anything. He trusts his wife. Now he could not free him. If you read my Bible, he said, if we kill this man, is innocent. The blood of innocent is going to follow people. Pilate said, I wash my hand. If we kill him, his blood is going to be on your head. Do you know what these people say? Come on, church. Do you know what they say? On the same verse, if we read 24, 25, they say some briefing message. They say Matthew 27, because sometimes when you read everything, you're going to understand. And when you get to 24, here is the answer. Pilate saw that there was not getting anywhere and that Rio was developing. So he sent for a bowl of water and washed his hand before the crowd, saying, I'm innocent of this man's blood. The responsibility of this man's blood is yours. And all the people, that's verse 25, yelled back, we will take responsibility for his death. We and our generation will take responsibility of that blood.
Their generation is us.
Come on, church. They say we here present and our generation and our children, they will pay the price of corruption. They will pay the price of being oppressed as long as this man died, because our income is going down, because our politics system is going down. Our church is not moving far away again. We don't see offering 3 times. Those men like Zacchaeus who used to give big money, we can't see him anymore. He and my two, who was building big. He don't now our offering is like tiny like that. He gotta go and die. But the crowd, they was scared about the church leaders, Jews. And on the other side, they was scared about the politician. So that coalition brings Jesus to be killed. But God intervention by sending these special letters. If you see so many letters in the Bible, but this is a very, very special letter that comes from God in hard time, in very hard time, to try to free Jesus. But the coalition of strong people could not allow that freedom. It's very hard. But they say, we're going to pay the price. I love Jesus for his promise to come back. He's going to come back to free his people from corruption. Not being Independence Day. It's your mentality to come back to renew. And then when he changes your mentality, so you'll be able to be free. Even we living in a free land. Even we living in a free country. Even we living in the liberty. Even we celebrate July, June, May, Independence Day. You know what Independence Day time? It's not a day to celebrate God. Independence Day is a day to drink and do worse stuff. So that letter make people mind to feel like the blood of Jesus, may I save you, and the blood of Jesus, may I be another situation. So we are in a situation where we trying to say, I'm trying to bring your mind. When you say I'm free, be careful. You may be free, but take responsibility to fix your future. Even if you are free, take responsibility to prepare your future life. Even if you are free, take your responsibility to know your charisma, who you want to be. If you make a wrong choice here, it's going to be too late. Freedom, it doesn't mean to turn your back to God. That is not freedom. The freedom has instruction to believe in God, to respect marriage. The freedom, the relationship between parents. I like what John the Baptist was saying. He came to build back the relationship between parents and children. Why? Because there was misunderstanding. Parents, they ought to tell children that what you see is misleading you. Then what the answer? Daddy, you're getting old. This is new generation, Dad.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't smoke stuff, you're not a man. Yes, I know. And then daddy trying to be like, but if dad is honest, he'll be like, come here, boy. I start smoking that day. Oh, for real? He said, yeah. But you know the consequences? I know the advantage of it. Even mothers. So what does mean freedom? Freedom doesn't mean to be free. It's to take responsibility, to stay with God in line. But do not oppress those people who are saying, this is a free country, we need to be what we need to be. Those are people who are bringing again fire on the nation. Those are people who are bringing calamities on the nation. Those are people who are bringing again the death in the nation. We suffer day and night. We are free, but we are being struck. Imagine if the big land, like here, Katrina, whatever, the catastrophe just come, nobody know. But back on the day, people used to know. They have a dream that things are going to happen. Now we can't know anymore. So I'm praying that, men of God, do not underestimate yourself. Do not be corrupted by the system. Do not be corrupted by the style you see today. No, you are unique. You are special. Then do not be confused with other people. I know, like everybody, we need the hair to be blue, green, right? Yeah, yes, but your inside is very important. I can't just stand here, try to go speaking about labor, speaking about corruption, about the government. What we saw yesterday is the continuation of evil work. Satan worked 24/7 from the day one. There's no new word, it's the same word. And those people who work in the construction and that government, they are corrupted. They may be bigger, but they don't understand. But we have to understand. So I pray, please, I beg you to have a new mentality. The new mentality, ask you to pray before you eat. People, they haven't feel ashamed to pray before they eat. You know how they do in the public area? And the same system keep coming. And then they pray out of school. We keep coming. They praise out of workplace. They praise out of airplane. So we squeeze it. We keep kicking it out. If you try to pray, you're in trouble. Even in school, and your colleague be like, "What are you doing?" "I'm praying." "Hey, pastor, what's up, reverend? Did you pray, reverend?" And the next day, be like, before you pray, maybe you go to the restroom because they're making fun of you. Mm-hmm. So the system. But we're going to make it very hard. God is intervening by sending you this message through me, through your pastor. Every church, every religion is searching good. You may judge it according to you. But what I'm saying here is like the look of killing people, their coalition, even in every single area they are killing people now. It's not because people they are wrong. It's not because people they don't worship like them. Because people are not able to accept that type of oppression. They may cut your neck for no reason. Now what they need, just to oppress people to get the money, not for the God reason. But the kind of confusion, because we know the death of Jesus is the will of God, and we know every suffering is the will of God, and if you go through, it's the will of God. Since we live in that confusion by saying everything is happening, if God didn't allow, it's not going to happen. If it happened, it's because God allowed it. No. Somebody is working to block it. And because he's so eloquent, he transformed his desire to be the desire of God. So this warning on this letter, God is working so hard. You may be in a situation, but you can't know. Even Jesus, even the people around, there's not a way that God is working in the last minute to free Jesus from the hand of this evil coalition. It doesn't mean that Jesus is not going to die. He's a human being. Even God give him 90 years, 100 years. The bones will be tired. He could die and be buried with honor. And nobody could take his blood on his hand. God could find a way to free this world. And the message of the gospel, now he was in suspense, they call it, which means it's continuation. Now we're struggling to translate the message. We're struggling to give the message. And people now, they say, the word of God is boring now. Church is boring. I don't like church. What am I going to do over there? They're preaching the same thing. If Jesus was a good man, why did he die? So there's nothing in the church. We're just going to make those people rich. But I choose to make my politician people rich, not church, because I have nothing to do with God. Church is really boring now because of the confusion. Okay, you go to church, show me. Oh, no, I don't have money. So you open it, you see, I got money. And then this money, you are corrupted. Which way you take it? So I'm praying for you to be comfortable. I'm praying for you to feel that what you're doing, you're working hard, and you're not going to live like that. But you have high responsibility to stay away from corruption. God is intervention, you don't even know. Sometimes you'll be sleeping, you don't even know what God is going to do. But on this day, on this small letter, God is trying to work hard to free people who think they are free, but they are not free. So from now on, when you say I'm free, think twice. Come on, church. If you are really free. Before you know, you are free yourself, and then you slave in yourself. Nobody forced you. This time maybe they call it voluntary slavery. You putting yourself in jail when they didn't arrest you by following the desire of this world. Because my shoes, because my jacket, because they will live where I live. Because so all in those situations make you to be slave, and then things control you. So it's time to wake up. It's time to free ourselves. It's time to proclaim our freedom on the mentality. Even you lock me, that's what Jesus said, don't care about those people who may jail you, who may lock you, even kick you out from job. Even they kill you, but they can't kill your mentality. They can't kill your soul. But come to me, I'm able to heal you. So that's the value of God's interventions. And that's the value of knowing what's the real definition of freedom. They came from Egypt, they're still slave. And now, they're still slave. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the people who believe. Because I'm Christian. I was born again. I was baptized. You know, I'm in the church for, I can't even remember, maybe 49. I'm a member here for 9 years. Are you free? Then when they ask you a question, are you sure you're going to go to heaven? You start mumbling. Only God who knows. Why are you doubting? You must be sure that you're going to heaven. So we're praying for today, God to help us to be free. God to help us to understand our value. And God is to help us to keep intervening, sending his angel so we can be free. Now we understand that this message to Pilate, God is working hard so Jesus can give more. Jesus can build again. Jesus can free more other people. But the way he freed Thomas, Matthew, and only those disciples, there's already tax collector corrupted. We always corrupted. I remember the other dude who was talking like a purity life. They're making fun on the kids who they say they don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend, you know. So it's a shame to be like that. That's where we're going now. You must be proud. How you be ashamed to be that? Why? Because we're already in a system that is corrupted. So our message for today, as I pray that God's intervention is still working, but I'm praying for you to be free. I'm praying for you to be free. Do not be intimidated. Be free. Don't scare. Speak your mind with God. Be free. Are you ready to be free? Yeah. But it takes one refusal for you to be free. So we are just telling you that being free from somebody's hand, even being free from your father's hand, even you go, as long as you are not free, you're going to jump again deeper in entire slavery. So let yourself free yourself from mentality, then your future is sure. Let God bless you and stand up together so we can close ourselves for today.